Chapter 8. The Return of the Rains. The rains did not return gently this time. They arrived like a great procession of drums and dancing gods, wild, untamed, roaring across the hills and valleys in torrents. The clouds were black with promise, and the skies split open with lightning so bright it painted the village white for moments at a time. It should have been a blessing. But blessings, Kaniz had learned, often came with tests. At first, the rain was welcomed with cheers. Children ran through the muddy streets, their laughter echoing across the fields. Women refilled their empty pots straight from the sky. Old men sat on porches and watched, some whispering forgotten songs of gratitude to the heavens. But soon, the downpour became something else, something heavier. The pond that had been a shallow bowl of joy began to rise. Water flooded the low-lying fields. Trenches overflowed. The thin walls of the huts, built quickly in hope and haste, began to tremble under the weight of the storm. Kiran stood by the doorway, watching the darkness blur the world. "Baba," she whispered, "the water's rising." By nightfall, a stream had carved its way through the village center. Some crops had already drowned. Goats bleated from rooftops. A tree crashed down near the temple, lightning still crackling through its broken limbs. Kaniz ran from hut to hut, calling out to neighbors, guiding families to higher ground. "Move the children, carry what you can. The fields can wait, people come first." Hariya the potter grabbed his blind mother and waded waist-deep through water. Zinu the herbalist tied bundles of herbs to her back and helped others climb onto her roof. Even Milan Kazi lifted the hem of her soaked sari and joined the rescue efforts. But one field, Kaniz's field, was in danger of being lost. The golden plants were not like the others. Their roots ran deeper, but the floodwaters were rising fast. A wall of mud threatened to break and wash them away. Kaniz knew if he didn't act, the miracle crop, the symbol of their rebirth, would vanish by morning. He tied a rope around his waist and handed the other end to Kiran. "If the water takes me, don't follow." Kiran gripped the rope with shaking hands. "But trust me," he said, "like the seeds trusted us." Then he plunged into the flood. Kaniz reached the field, now a shallow lake. He planted his feet and began building a barrier. Mud, stones, broken planks, anything to slow the water's hunger. Others saw him and came running. Soon half the village stood with him in the rain. Arun, watching from his porch, was the last to arrive. No one asked him, no one called, but he came. He walked into the water silently and began lifting rocks beside Kaniz. Their eyes met. Neither spoke. The work went on until morning. When the sun rose, it found the villagers soaked, covered in mud, their hands blistered, but standing. The barrier had held. The golden plants still shimmered in the morning light, half submerged but unbroken. The pond receded slowly. The skies cleared. The land, battered but nourished, began to breathe again. That night, the village held a feast, not for abundance, but for survival. Banana leaves were spread on the ground. Lanterns swung gently from tree branches. Songs were sung not of riches, but of courage, of people who stood together when the flood came. Arun, quiet and muddy, stood beside Kaniz as Kiran served sweet milk rice from a single pot. "I didn't do it for the seeds," Arun muttered. "I know," Kaniz said. "I did it because she was watching." He nodded at Kiran. Kaniz smiled. "She watches all of us," he said, "and the land does too." Above them, stars blinked once more in the clean night sky. In the fields, new shoots were rising. Not just the golden ones, but green blades everywhere. The flood had tried to drown them, but Srijitpur, once forgotten, had roots that ran deep. And now it would never be buried again. Looking for a fun and simple way to improve your English? In this video, we'll show you how English short stories can help you learn faster and more naturally. Short stories are perfect for beginners and intermediate learners. They're easy to follow, full of useful vocabulary, and great for practicing reading and listening skills. By reading and listening to stories, you'll learn new words in context, understand English grammar naturally, improve your pronunciation and comprehension, enjoy the learning process without feeling bored. Whether you want to speak English more fluently or just enjoy a good story while learning, this is the perfect place to start. Hit that like button, thumbs up, subscribe for more, and let's learn English together.